small little thing not quite right, and I should have just told it to put it on a canvas and corrected it myself. But I didn't. I tried to talk through correcting it, and the bloody thing went off on a tangent and down a bloody one-way street. You're like, oh. All I had to do was put that on a canvas and just alter it myself, and it would have been 10 times easier. I think it's tricks like that people don't know about. They don't know about a canvas.
Of course, yeah. I mean, if we start with the custom GPT stuff, then because one of the use cases that, and obviously just for context, I mean, you know, just to explain what a custom GPT actually is. It essentially is kind of like a condensed version of ChatGPT, where you can essentially take ChatGPT, create kind of like a micro version of it, and upload a bunch of information about your business. So you can upload documents.
We should talk about this, Morgan, because you're way too technical for most of us simple estate agents. Because I turned around and I described it to somebody the other day, and I said, do you know when you go 10-pin bowling?
Yeah.
And it's really shit because everybody's all over the place, and you can put up those railings.
Yeah.
Good idea there.
That's what it's like. You just limit it. You don't tell it. It's not telling you about the whole fucking world. It's just telling you what's in this runway. But
exactly. Yeah. And I mean, the main premise is you can upload information into, let's say, a custom GPT, and almost like fine tune it, right? So I'll give you the perfect example for agents is outbound calling and objection handling. So for example, if you have a custom GPT that's trained where you've uploaded essentially scripts for outbound calling and things like that, it becomes really good for objection handling. So when people, for example, let's say a vendor challenges fees, for example, a negotiator can then just put the challenge or whatever the vendor's asked into this custom GPT, and if it's trained on the right information, it can then just generate an answer for you, so on the fly. So that's an example. Obviously, the other examples, things like reviewing feedback, so how to handle that, emails. So there's a lot of kind of customization depth that you can go into just simply by, as you say, kind of confining the AI to a specific use case.
Yeah. So an example I did was details. I had this guy, he was in Ireland, and he goes, oh no, my details are really particular. I'm really careful about my details. No. I have to do my details. Anyway, I did exactly what you're saying with GPT, but I uploaded about 10 examples of his details, and it just went off and mimicked him perfectly. He was almost mortified that
that's a
details that you got.
That's a really important point, because one of the common objections from agents about AI in general is that they think, oh, it can't represent my brand, it can't pick up my tone, it can't do this, it can't do that. We sell £5 million houses, AI can't help us, and it's completely wrong. Fundamentally,
he was exactly. I mean, he was £1 million plus, and in Ireland, that's quite a big house. But he thought, no way can it do details like I can, and he was mortified to find out that set up the parameters, give it the right training, and sure enough, it'll do it.
I mean, that's the key point. Like, even no matter what kind of price house you're selling, you can kind of customize the AI to be super specific to your needs, your tone, your voice, and all of that.
Yeah, brilliant. But again, I don't mind some of this like that, because I think all of these conversations are actually worth having live as part of it, as we start to work through, look, this is how you actually get it to work for you.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of things, right? So one of the more obvious things is the memory.
Yes.
So a lot of people that use ChatGPT don't even actually really know this exists. But essentially, just simply in the settings, you can activate memory, which means that across all the different conversations you have with ChatGPT, it will remember everything that you've told it across previous conversations. So it goes to the point we're making. If, for example, you tell it one day that, this is my tone, this is how I like to write listing descriptions, X, Y, Z, it will then remember that for future reference. So that's a really important thing when it comes to kind of the memory of the AI.
I update my memory relentlessly. Again, even this morning, it started using the word no fluff. And I literally said to it, nobody on earth, apart from ChatGPT, uses the fucking word fluff.
Yeah.
Please put in my memory, you're never to use fluff again.
Yeah.
It came up and went, fluff is dead to me. I will never use it again in any of your stuff.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's one of the important things, right? It's like, for example, kind of what you said earlier. The beauty of it is that you can just tell it what to do. So
Yeah.
you can just say, never use this again, and it won't use it again. Like the worst one, I think, is the dashes.
Yes.
You know,
I hate the dashes.
the M dashes, they're called.
Yeah.
Just tell it once not to use them, and it won't.
Yeah. Exactly.
I think that's a big thing. Memory, ensuring that it's kind of trained to match your tone, your style, that kind of stuff.
But I agree, and people probably don't even know where the memory is on the blooming, do they?
No.
They don't
I
get
mean,
what
you don't actually need to know. You can just put in the chat in the box and say,
Yeah.
activate memory, and
Yeah.
and in future reference, if you tell it not to do this or to do this, it will do it.
Yeah.
So you don't even need to go into the settings. I mean, we can show in a second kind of how it actually works.
See, again, I did go to the settings and tell it all about me, so it understood me.
Yeah. So
I uploaded my branding book into it as well, so it understood my brand, all that sort of stuff. So I think it's really important how good you are at giving instructions, and you soon find out how vague you are at giving instructions as it starts to go off on some weird tangent. And I then, because that's how I use projects as well, I keep all my stuff in separate projects so that I don't kill a really productive project somewhere. I start a new one.
Of course, yeah. I mean, just on the memory point, the way this works, if I come down here and go into my settings, and then go into personalization, here you get quite a lot of stuff, right? So for example, you get custom instructions. So you could set different kind of behaviors, styles, tone preferences. So typically I like to prompt it to be quite concise. Coming down here, obviously memory, you just got to tick these boxes. That's really it. Tick these 3 boxes, and then it will be able to reference everything across any form of conversation.
Yeah, but as you say, when you're in it, you can give it instructions to hold in its memory so it doesn't do that stuff again. Or if you think, I actually quite like this is going really well, you need to, I think I got a workflow going with it, and I said, this is actually working. Can we put this in your bloody memory so we just follow this workflow in future? It's like when you ask it to do stuff like, oh, pop that on a PDF for me, and it goes and changes all the wording. You go, I didn't say
I mean, one question I have for you, what are the common objections you hear from agents against AI?
And the common one is I'm way better. I'm super duper at doing something very particular or something like that. That's the common one that I hear.
Right. And I mean, what would like an example of that be? So
well, the guy with the details is a classic one. That detail thing where they turn around and say, yeah, I'm really good at writing details. It's very particular. You have to be really careful with it. It can't write details the same way I can write details. Is the classic one. I'm unique. I'm very special. I'm very different.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
most people need that, don't you? But actually, what those people don't realise is they're actually going through a process when they're creating their details, and all they've got to do is document that process and give it to AI, and it will copy the process in the same way that you could copy the way somebody does details if they just told you what the mechanics are of how they do it.
Yeah, exactly that. I mean, the point is not just agents, but really anyone that thinks AI can't replicate their tone, their style is, you know, they're uneducated on this topic, frankly. Because, you know, at the end of the day, what it's really good at is copying people and learning. And like you said, the simplest way to think about it is like a human being. If you sit a human being down and tell them this is how we do our details and walk them through it, put them through a week's worth of training, AI is the exact same, does the exact same thing, except it takes 5 minutes. So, you know, whether you're at the top end of the market or the bottom end of the market or somewhere in the middle, there's a use case there.
Yeah, no, definitely. And some other bits I've done with it as well. I've asked it to do deep research on stuff because I think the deep research button is great. I think I told you this one, didn't I? Where I got the guy in Nottingham and said he mentioned that his rents were slightly higher than everybody else. So I got WhatsApp to do the research. It gave me all the background study. It told me, quoted me where its source had come from, so that we could actually claim you get 21% higher rents. It's just mind-blowing stats to use in part of your campaigns or your marketing and that sort of thing. It was, you know,
that's
really
a big one. I mean, research is a massive one, so we hear that quite a lot. So even, for example, using it to, obviously with like reports and outbound, you can kind of take that to a whole new level by personalizing it with AI. It's like if somebody lives in like the, I don't know, PL8 postcode, for example, in Plymouth, you can get AI to generate.
You're stalking Mark now. Is that how you know that? You know where Mark lives?
I do, yeah. I've had a look.
Bloody integration, I know where you live. Is that what you said?
I'm going to post this bit on LinkedIn,
yeah. Really quick, let me just jump in. I didn't want to like get involved in your mojo, guys. I'm like duck out of water, just sat here. So I'll probably jump off.
Okay. Cheers, Luke.
While the shot to jump off, I don't know. It'd be a bit weird in a clip. I'm just sort of sat here like that.
Yeah,
it zooms in.
We're only going to say the same shit all over again, Luke. So I think you've already heard it.
Yeah, but also imagine like it's video of us and just leave the call mid conversation.
You got to get at least one clip, mate. Come on.
All right. It depends. What do you want to discuss? But what I wanted to go over with you actually, Rob, only really quick while we're having a break from the clips, is when we launch the Nessie Labs thing we discussed, right?
Yeah.
Remember that? With all the features and things, which we have to show you, by the way.
Yeah.
We'll give you access to when it's finished. We should probably do like one of these actually, where we go through the actual product together. Yeah. Obviously, be part of your offering as well.
Yeah.
Thinking we could do that and organise that in the coming weeks whenever you're ready on your end.
Yeah, we'll probably touch on this at some point today as well, where we turn around and say that there's tell us about your tool, because you've got a very particular tool, because you've almost, it's a GPT, a supercharged GPT for estate agents, isn't it, really?
Yeah, I think
exactly. Yeah,
it'll be done next week.
Okay.
Next week. So I think we can mention it, but I think what would be really good is just to highlight. I'll go through a demo probably together and showcase it as part of your offering.
Yeah.
As well when you launch your thing. So
cool.
Yeah. All right. Okay. That was basically it from me. All right. I'll let you guys to be honest. It'll probably be easier. So
cool.
All right.
Cheers, Luke. Take care.
Bye.
So are you recording this so far, Morgan?
Yeah. So it's all recorded. What I do, I just put it into Opus Clips.
Yeah.
And then send you all the clips, because it will be like 30-second snippets.
Yeah. Okay. So what else have we got on ChatGPT that we think other people will not know about that we need to talk about?
Well, I mean, this is quite an interesting use case that I think is obviously with kind of like what you said there, so projects.
Yeah.
But I like to look at it more as kind of files.
Okay.
So, for example,
put it on the screen so that when we're talking to people, we can show everybody what we mean when we're jabbering away about projects and files.
Cool. So let me just share my screen here. So, for example, really simply, can you see this?
Yep.
I can create a project in ChatGPT, which can then be used to kind of store different chats under.
Yeah.
So a good example that I think of where this can be used is for specific properties. So, for example, say I was selling, I don't know, a house on Thomas Sneed Road in Bristol. Yep. I could create a project for that specific property, upload everything to it, and then potentially even share that with the vendor.
Yeah.
So that they can ask questions about, how many viewings has the property had this week, all this information, and I can continually update in that. So it can also be used as like a, like a communication channel, a bridge of communication, which I think really, to be honest, helps agents stand out in their offering.
Yeah.
So I think,
can I share? Because I have, for example, all my clients in one project they each have a project.
Yeah.
So for you guys, for example, you're a project in my thing. Can I share that project?
Of course, yeah. Yeah,
of
course.
You can comment on some of the stuff that I'm putting in there.
Exactly, yeah. So you can share.
How do you do that? How do I share it?
So let me just show you this now.
Yeah.
Okay. Show my screen.
I'm going to have to be a bit more careful about what I write in it about my clients, of course. But
so pretty much, give me one moment.
Because lots of agents use WhatsApp, don't they, as a communication tool? And you're saying you can actually just use ChatGPT and it'll update you and advise while you're actually doing it.
Exactly, yeah. So can you see this?
Yeah.
So I have this project here, Nesty. Yeah. What I could do, I could simply click these dots and click share.
Okay.
And then invite you via email.
And as long as they've got that link, they can get into it. Is that right?
Exactly, yeah. And then if there's files uploaded and all this information behind it, they can actually ask questions and interact in the project as well. Or alternatively, you can obviously share a chat, so an individual chat in the same way.
Okay.
But I think the use case of this for agents is that they can you can have these specific projects for specific listings and then share the vendor, whatever it may be. And I think it's just that kind of nice touch that will help you stand out.
Well, I think that's an amazing opportunity, because I think about things like sales progression, Morgan.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and in sales progression, there's loads of jargon.
Yeah.
Which people don't really know what it means. Whereas if you've put the jargon in there to chat GPT, like you said, we're awaiting inquiries, and actually the seller does not quite sure what inquiries are outstanding. I thought I filled in my paperwork. They can actually go in there and ask chat GPT. And then you as the agent can see that they've asked that question.
Of course.
You can provide prompts and help them out with it and that sort of thing as well. So that whole WhatsApp messaging, which loads of agents use WhatsApp.
Yeah.
They have WhatsApp group for every single client, and they have WhatsApp groups for the sale and that sort of thing, so that they can communicate backwards and forwards. Actually, they could replace WhatsApp
with this.
Chat GPT, share the project, and at the same time, people can investigate and actually ask questions of Chat GPT. Like the seller could put in there, well, why is this taking so long? And that Chat GPT will give them the 6 different reasons why it might take long.
Of course, yeah. I mean, you can even take it a step further, right? So, for example, just put into perspective, with all the regulations that are changing, so like the renters' rights bill, things like that, that also impacts obviously the landlords themselves. So you can even take it to the extent where you upload all the relevant information on, let's say, the renters' reform bill, and then the landlord or the vendor can come in there and kind of understand in layman terms, not jargon, what that actually means for them and their property.
Okay.
So there's a lot of ways it can be used as a communication channel.
I didn't even think of that, Morgan, to be honest with you. But yeah, what a great idea.
Yeah, specifically, I think in terms of educating your landlords and your vendors, which then also saves you having to contact them all individually and pick up the phones to all of them and explain what's going to change. And
it's not just that. Sometimes, some of the clients will think we have a vested interest in, they're just after their fee, all that sort of stuff. Is quite, I think maybe that's our paranoia stepping in, but that's what we tend to think. So I wonder if they got it from a third party that's genuinely independent, that tells them exactly the same thing. But what happens when it goes off down a rabbit hole on that, Morgan? Because
again, it could. That's something to be cautious of. But I mean, what I find interesting about all of this is that, and we're seeing it. So agents that are using our product, and obviously we're, separate ChatGPT, we do predominantly kind of voice AI stuff. Agents that are using us are using the very fact that they're using us as a selling point to vendors.
Yeah.
Right. So we've had many agents say to us, could you give us a testimonial or some kind of like stamp of approval that we're AI first, adopting AI and using that as a means to kind of say to their vendors, look, we're at the kind of forefront of technology. So I think, even with things like ChatGPT, I mean, it's a unique selling point in itself, because most agents aren't doing this properly.
Yeah.
They're not doing it yet. So it's a way to really kind of get ahead of the curve. And I think, looking forward, I think, if people aren't adopting this within the next few months, they're going to fall behind, frankly, and there's kind of no way out of it.
It's because it's interesting. It is about that skill set that we spoke about earlier. That skill set of breaking down things so that you recognize them as a process.
Yeah.
And then being able to give really clear instructions at each part. That's really important to do. And that is going to be the skill of the future, isn't it?
Exactly. The skill, it's going to be understanding obviously how to use these tools optimally for your kind of specific day to day. And we're seeing this firsthand. And there's so much kind of what you can do. There's so much stuff you can do with AI. The best kind of case scenario, the best starting point is to pick something that is either quite easy to implement and get started with, something like ChatGPT, with a specific use case in mind. So not trying to do it all at once, but trying to kind of take it step by step. So for example, like we said earlier, you could start by using projects for your listings, or you could start by even like something as simple as created custom GPTs to kind of personalize them to help your team with writing emails or something. But I think, you know, this stuff is compounding. So as you eventually add on more and more use cases and become more sophisticated with this, you know, it's going to save you an enormous amount of time. It's like we were speaking with a customer earlier, and just to put it into perspective, one of our customers, by using Nestle's voice AI assistants, it's essentially been taking over 80 hours of calls a month for them.
Wow.
And if you break that down, that's like 80 hours, 8 working days. I mean, 8 hours in a working day. I mean, that's 10 working days over the course of the month, you know, where the AI has literally been handling that.
Yeah, if a human did that, it would take it much longer, wouldn't it?
It would take it much longer, and it's just wasted resource nowadays because AI can do it.
Yeah. That is just phenomenal, isn't it? And like you say, we were talking about this a bit earlier about that people don't believe that it can just mimic you, but it can. I think one of the best tales I've got like that, my content is done by my VA in the Philippines, and I gave her what I call a master prompt.
Yeah.
And I just asked ChatGPT, I want to create a master prompt. Tell me what you need to know, and it asks, I need you to know your tone, I need to know this, what would you say in this example, that sort of stuff. And it created a master prompt for me. And then I sent that to my VA. So whenever she does my content, she uploads my master prompt.
Yeah.
And a couple of months ago, one of my clients rang me and said, I saw that post. I know that post was about me, Rob. And I'm not sure I'm happy about you writing about me on LinkedIn. I was like, Peter, I didn't even write the post. My VA certainly doesn't know who the hell you are.
Yeah, I mean, what you're saying about replicating people is interesting because, and I don't think we've actually discussed this publicly yet, but one of the biggest reasons that Peter Rollins decided to work with us and invest in the business is because he saw firsthand how hard it is across Foxtons and Marsh & Parsons to establish consistency in phone calls across hundreds of negotiators.
Yeah.
So his idea was, well, why can't you just tell AI once the absolute perfect way to handle an inbound call and an outbound call and let it do it all? And that's essentially why one of the core reasons why we started working with him in the first place, because again, it can really kind of capture the granular detail. So for example, obviously a skill of a kind of negotiator is when you're having a call, let's say, over lead, you know, being able to dissect, do they have a house to sell, all this stuff, right?
Yeah.
AI can do that perfectly.
Yeah.
The only limitation at the moment is coming from consumers and whether they are the average kind of person and whether they are comfortable speaking to AI. But that's going to change because banks are doing it now. You know, insurance companies doing it now. You know, it's going to follow an estate agency.
Well, I was speaking to Mal McCallum the other day about his new venture. My Porter, is that right? Mm-hmm. And he was saying it's already, you don't realize you're reading or seeing stuff on your social media outlets and you don't realize it's AI.
Yeah.
You're assuming it is a human, it is a person, and it's not. So we're already getting into that sort of, it's merging into that gray area. Is that AI? Is that not AI? You know, you're a bit cynical, so you think it is AI. But as I've often said, I think sometimes I'd rather just deal with AI.
Yeah, and the content sometimes is better, right?
Yeah.
Frankly, I mean, I know exactly what you're referring to. So, like for example, written posts, video, even nowadays, you know, you're scrolling on Instagram or TikTok or whatever, and you know, loads of videos that AI generated. You don't know if it's real or you don't know if it's fake. And I mean, it's only going to keep going in that way. To be honest, I think
it's only going to get better, isn't it?
It's only going to get better, and you know, whether that's for the good or the bad, that's a whole different discussion. But you know, one thing I know for sure is that the adoption of this stuff is massive, and it's going to follow in the state agency.
Yeah, I mean, I get that, and starting with something like ChatGPT is a really good idea, isn't it? Because it is pretty straightforward. Although even on this call, I'd say I've learned something today about the fact that you can share the projects with people, and I can actually have all the projects, all the workings, because I think sometimes some of my clients don't appreciate. They think I just asked ChatGPT a question like, "How do I get this client more landlords?" It answers, and I send it to them. but that's not how it works, is it?
No.
Like,
Yeah. I mean, there is an interesting thing.
Battle as you try and dig out and tease out the information you're after.
I mean, there is an interesting, and this is worth mentioning. There's an interesting thing floating about at the moment called reverse prompting.
Okay.
And essentially, what it is kind of flipping the way you interact with AI on its head. So and I've tried it and it works really well, so you should definitely give it a go. But for example, if you go to ChatGPT and you're thinking about certain topics, so take that example, how do I get more landlords, right?
Yeah.
You pretty much say to ChatGPT your current thought process on what you can do to get more landlords.
Mm-hmm.
And then you say to it, what am I not considering? So you kind of flip it on its head. So instead of saying, how do I get more landlords, say, this is what I currently think I need to do. What am I not considering? And it will, I mean, every time I've tried it, it's given me quite nuanced ideas that I haven't yet thought of.
Yeah.
And I saw this video. I saw the Coinbase. You know, the Coinbase company. Yep. Yeah, it's a big company, and I saw the CEO saying, that's how he's getting the most value out of AI, because when you're, and again, I don't know, this doesn't apply to small agents, but large agents, this is very relevant. AI, so tools like ChatGPT, can plug into various third-party systems. So think like Slack, Microsoft Teams, etc. And he was saying that he uses AI in a way where it's plugged into everything. He can go on it and say, what don't I know about my business? That's kind of
that classic line. I think that's it. I saw that on Diary of a CEO or something. It's like an interview question.
Yeah. And
Karen Brady did it, didn't she? Yeah,
and it will come back and it will say, it'll come back to the CEO and it will say, well, did you know that there's 3 people in the marketing department that have been, disagreeing on a lot of things recently, and there might be a conflict potentially arising, something he would have no idea of. But simply because
because you've given ChatGPT access to Slack?
Yeah.
So show us that again on ChatGPT. Show us how you can do this. I mean, I've given mine access to Outlook, so it can help with emails and stuff like that.
Yeah. So let me share my screen. Can you see this?
Yep.
Yeah. So when I come down here and go into my settings, you see there's apps.
Yep.
So you can connect apps, right? So you can see on this account I have Google Drive linked. So
okay,
if I said to it, I don't know, find me our financial forecast, it will find it, right? But you can go add more. Yeah. And if you see here, you have all of these apps you can add, right? I mean, even like kind of like Spotify, for example. So there's so many things you can do in here. Canva's quite a good one, because you can just say to ChatGPT, this is the listing description of a property, generate an image to go on social media, and it'll do it for you. But there's so many you can do. Like HubSpot from a CRM perspective, Slack, look up chats and messages. So obviously, if you're a larger agent and you do use something like Slack or Microsoft Teams, you can use it to kind of ask a question and surface all the information from every discussion going on across the company. So it's quite cool when you start connecting this stuff.
Is that Reapit? Can you Reapit on there as well? So it'll integrate with Reapit. Maybe I got that wrong.
Replit.
Replit. There you go.
Yeah. No, not yet. Reapit on there. Yeah, that'll probably take.
Yeah, I'm about to say they're a bit. These CRMs tend to be a bit tighter with their IPs.
That'll take a good 30 years.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, they're the apps are really good because it just enables that kind of integration, and it adds more. Again, it adds more context to the AI.
Yeah.
Which is really, really useful, particularly from like a communication perspective and understanding, what's going on. But yeah.
I mean, I love the way that I've got it linked to my Outlook, and I just press the button at the top once it's done the email, and it appears on as an email ready to go.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. People aren't even using it. That in itself, I would say, is probably one of the kind of more complex use cases. It's not complex to set up, but nobody's really doing it. That's the irony of it all. So
because I noticed whenever I talk to you guys, we have Fixer AI. I assume that's because Peter invested in that as well.
But, so Fixer's great. Yeah, so we've used Fixer for a while.
You don't need it, do you? Once you link ChatGPT to your own,
you don't need it. We use it. So Fixer goes a little bit broader. Fixer does a couple of things. It records the meetings, but it also sits inside your email inbox.
Yeah.
And what it will do is, as emails come into your inbox, it will use AI to tag those emails. So it will tag them one of the following categories. So urgent, marketing bullshit. Something too
Whoa.
responsive. Like,
Don't let that get in the way of my outbound email campaigns.
yeah,
I'm a big fan of those. Are you telling me they're all over? We're all wasting our time with those things.
well, like it's good because Fixer will draft your responses for you.
Okay.
Like so instead of me having to copy an email, put it into ChatGPT, and get it to generate it, it'll just draft it in my inbox.
Yeah.
It's like if you, I mean, I don't know if I can show you an example because I'm quite responsive, but I can put an example in a.
Should we do Fixer for another week?
Yeah, Fixer will be a good one. Yeah, because it's very good. One of the best tools we use.
Is it? I don't use Fixer, to be honest with you. Maybe I should do.
Yeah, if you get a lot of emails, it's good.
Yeah, I'm not too bad on my emails. 90% of them are shit, so I tend to just leave the shit ones all in one folder out the way and then deal with the rest.
Yeah, it does filter out a lot of it. So Fixer, yeah, I agree. We can do that in another one.
Okay, cool. Anything else on ChatGPT? What about some of the basic stuff, Morgan, that I've seen? That I've seen this on YouTube videos. I love a YouTube video about AI.
Yeah.
But I saw one the other day, and it just said, "Tell me how I can improve my business by 10%." And it just came up with all these ideas of how to improve your business.
I mean, the best way to use it is to kind of treat it like a thought partner, really.
Yeah.
And ask it questions. And like I said a minute ago, prompt it. So tell it to try and come up with ideas that you're not already thinking about, because then you're kind of forcing it to be a little bit kind of nuanced.
Yeah.
And that works really well for us. I mean, one thing that's worth mentioning as well that not many people know about is the actual difference between the different kind of model or AI providers. Okay. So, like for example, ChatGPT is probably the best general purpose model. Claude is definitely the best at writing. So when it comes to things like LinkedIn posts or emails or blogs, long form content, Claude is the best by a mile because it's less waffly.
I've used Claude, but I don't really. It doesn't get me. It doesn't sound like me when it writes it. But
and you got to tell it your tone.
Okay.
So Claude's the best for that. I think the overall best model at the moment for like deep thought and research and reasoning is Google's. So Gemini is the best one at the moment.
Yeah.
Which is very good. It's just, again, worth mentioning that there are some what's described as rate limits. So you can only use it you can only prompt it 10 times every 12 hours, and then it restricts you, which is a bit annoying, but it's good for the deep research. So like, for example, deep research, if you use it on ChatGPT, you know it takes a while.
Yeah.
Right? It can take like 10 minutes. Gemini will get the same output in like 10 seconds.
Okay.
So it's faster and more.
Because the other one I've played with is Notebook LM.
Notebook LM, yes, that's good for like audio, isn't it, and podcasts and things like that. That's quite cool.
Yeah, I mean, it creates those, doesn't it? It's like it's more about a learning thing, isn't it? It'll teach. If you wanted to know about the changes in regulation for rentals and the rent reformat, that's a great one, because that'll create a podcast for you to listen to. It'll even create a video.
Yeah.
To learn from it. It takes it bloody days to create a video, but it will create a video for you.
100%. I mean, the other one is Manus. So Manus has just been bought by Meta, literally last week. Yeah, so now Meta own them, so they'll probably be swallowed.
Yeah, I quite like Manus. Again, it was almost like, for me, it was one of the first discoveries of deep search. I don't know whether they were doing it before ChatGPT, but their deep search was phenomenal. It organised the most amazing holiday for me in Paris, and I went to bits of Paris that tourists wouldn't normally go for. It was phenomenal. It managed to find out for me.
Yeah, Manus is good for that. So I mean, they're designed for different use cases. I mean, you have to kind of try them all to find out what suits you best. For us at the moment, across our team, the one we use the most is split between Claude and Gemini. So for day-to-day, we use Gemini. And then we use Claude for a lot of the more kind of intricate stuff. So like our engineers, for example, use Claude to write code. Because it is by far the best at that. So I mean, I don't know if you've heard of like Lovable and things like that. Yeah, all of those are built on top of Claude.
Okay.
It's so good at, if you say to it, build me something, build me a I don't know, like a website. It'll do it for you.
Well, you're better off thinking about a funnel, sales pages.
Yeah, sales pages. Yeah.
So
yeah,
add
exactly.
them to your existing website is a great use, I believe, of Lovable. So, because it's like you want a new sales page, you want to do some more marketing, and you want them to hit down on a great page that is all pre-thought out with a combination, probably what you're saying, of Claude and using Lovable to create it.
Yeah, because they are pretty much the same thing. Lovable is literally built on top of Claude, so it's yeah. I mean, again, my advice is to try them all and kind of find out what works best for you and suits your style, because it is different for everyone, and a lot of them have quite good free plans. I know ChatGPT has a free plan.
Yeah,
I know Claude has a free plan. So pricing, particularly like with like ChatGPT, it's like 20 quid a month, isn't it? When you do decide to upgrade. So
that's $20. It's 16 quid a month.
$20, yeah. $20. They have a bigger plan, but I don't think it's not worth it.
Yeah. I mean, but all of that's because I think probably what's happened for me is I've got too comfortable with ChatGPT. I know where I stand. I know where I work it. It works. So I just home in on that all the time. But probably that's not very clever, is it? It's probably about trying some of the others to see what they can do.
Yeah, you should definitely try. You should definitely try some of the others, because a lot of, like, as I say, they all have different strengths and they all have different weaknesses. So you might find there's, like, for example, I used ChatGPT for the last kind of 12 months thoroughly, and then as of December last year was when I made the switch to Gemini, and now I use Gemini all the time.
And what prompted that switch then, Morgan?
So they released a new model. On the benchmarks. So the way, again, this is a little bit technical, but the way all of these companies like benchmark who's got the best model is against kind of like exams. So like PhD level exams. So whether it's like science or computer science, like literally PhD level exams, they will get the models so like ChatGPT 4.0 to take that exam, and whatever gets the highest score will get the best benchmark.
Okay.
And Google released one in late November, a new one that essentially kind of just knocked them all out of the water, smashed them all in the park. So that brought a lot of interest over. I started using it and realized, shit, this actually is better. So
yeah, isn't that interesting? So I need to get onto Gemini and start working out how the hell that works as well. I take it it's pretty similar to ChatGPT.
Yeah, they're all very similar. I mean, like, in terms of user experience and how you interact with it, there's no difference. Literally no difference. There's a chat bubble where you type in what you want, and then there's a settings page. There's literally that. And obviously with Gemini as well, you get access to Nano Banana. Have you heard of that?
No, what's Nano Banana? What's this? It sounds dubious, but let's give it a go.
So Nano Banana is Google's image generation model.
Okay. Yeah.
So if I share my screen here, you see I've just loaded up Gemini. Here, and obviously you get my chat box, but you get this. So you get create an image.
Because ChatGPT images are fairly rubbish, aren't they?
Yeah, this is kind of next level stuff. So I mean, well, what shall I say? What should we make? I don't know. Give me something. Give me.
Can it do a video, or is that going to take it too long just to do an image?
It can do a video, but I'll show that after, because again, a different model.
Okay, let it do an image that demonstrates how much better Gemini is than ChatGPT. I assume it won't mind doing that.
There we go. So let's see, Nano Bananas. This is the model for image generation, and again, this is the best one by a mile. These are actually usable, because a lot of the ChatGPT ones are, all right, maybe not this one, but all right, not this one. Okay.
One for a cat. Well, I suppose the definition of the two images to show him what they're capable of producing is interesting, but yeah, let's get a better image than that. Let's put up there an old English house, because sometimes you want generic old English houses to use for websites and that sort of stuff. Okay. See what it comes up with for that.
Oh, right, I'm on the wrong model. Okay, so you see, this is what I was saying earlier. So you have, with Gemini, you have 3 different forms. You have fast, which is where it answers really quickly. You have thinking, which is essentially where it will do the deep research, and then you have pro. So like you can use these for different use cases. So what I was saying earlier about the limitations is on this thinking model.
Yeah.
So you see, I can't use this now until tomorrow at 9 a.m.
You've done too much thinking, Morgan. That's your problem.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Not enough doing and too much thinking.
But yeah. So the Gemini is good because it wraps it into one. So you have the text stuff. So like ChatGPT, you have the images, you have the video. They're even moving into motion graphics as well, which isn't relevant to estate agents, but like where you can upload a couple images, say of like our software platform, it will generate a fancy video of it. It's really cool.
Yeah, no, I sort of get that sort of those videos that sit on the front of your website for your business and that sort of stuff to tell you
exactly that. Yeah, exactly that.
Yeah, I mean, it is a phenomenal world, isn't it? And what's possible does make you think, where the hell's this going to end?
Of course, yeah. I mean, like for us, obviously, with us doing the voice AI technology, you have to think, so with what we do, there's a couple layers to it. So you have obviously the AI needs to be able to understand what somebody's asking or saying.
Yeah.
It then needs to generate a response, and that generation of the response is where we use tools like ChatGPT in our technology, and then it has to speak that response back to someone, all in 0.2 milliseconds.
Yeah.
So like, this stuff's moving fast because it's already at a point, even with what we do, where it's literally indistinguishable from a person.
Yeah, and it is like you say, it's that knowledge that it has is, we probably don't appreciate how much knowledge we have. We take for granted that we can walk, we can talk, we can coordinate our hands and that sort of thing. Actually, that's phenomenal amounts of knowledge to do that. But what this AI is now sort of emulating is all that knowledge. All that's probably more knowledge than we've got, more take from the whole experiences from the internet.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I mean, one thing that's worth speaking about on this point, because it is relevant, is obviously there's a big shift where consumers are now starting to use AI to search for houses.
Yeah.
And this is worth speaking about because
this is Mal's point, isn't it?
This completely changes the playing field. So there's I'll give you a specific reason as to why. So over the last 30 years, we've designed websites, take websites as an example, for SEO, so search engine optimization.
Yep.
And we've always been so keen on storytelling, and you've got to kind of capture the human emotion. That's all out the window with AI. It doesn't give a monkey's about emotion or storytelling. So when you're trying to position yourself to be displayed in AI search, so tools like ChatGPT, what it's doing is looking at your website and all the information that you're posting and trying to find that kind of granular detail to therefore display to somebody.
Yep.
So it changes the way people have to think about writing copy and pushing content out and designing websites. And to the point Mal makes, I think at the end of the day, AI has to pull and gather information from somewhere on the internet. Yep. So whether that's a portal or whether that's your own website, I mean, preferably your own website if you're going to save a bunch of money. Yep. There's a big opportunity there.
Yeah, no, that's it is, like I say, fascinating stuff with what it's capable of and where it's going and what it can actually do.
Yeah, 100%.
Cool. Is there anything else we need to talk about? We've ventured on from GPT, which was bad of us, but I'm sure it'll all come out fine in the end.
Yeah, I think that's quite good to be honest. Because if what I could do, I can download the video from Fixer, put it into Opus, probably get like a good 30-40 clips normally, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then I can just put them into a folder and send them to you.
Yeah.
And then we can
share the file with me or the folder with me or something. Yeah.
Did I tell you, by the way, I managed to get the webinar?
Oh yes, you did. You finally got it down. I've noticed your videos appearing every now and then.
I'll send that. I'll send that one as well because there are some good clips in that also. The one we did on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
But it was a bit weird. I had to pretty much install some third-party things, scrape it off LinkedIn because LinkedIn don't let you download it. So,
it all sounds very dubious, but I'm sure you know what you're doing.
Yeah, we got it in the end. But all right, brilliant. Well, I'll download this in a minute and get the clips and send it over to you.
Cool. And how is business going then? Are you getting going now? Are you starting to motor or?
Yeah, it's good. I think we're just the challenge, as always, is we always want more kind of coming in the top of the funnel, more leads. That's the big thing. So
It's the same for everybody, that is. But yeah,
it is same for every business. But I think just at the moment so I think I said to you last time that we need to close about 6 branches a month to hit our target. Obviously, best case scenario, we close a branch like we did in December, like Richard James that has 8 branches.
Yeah, makes it easier, doesn't it? Because you seem to permanently have a job.
Yeah, I don't know what's happened, but yes, we need to close about 6 a month. And at the moment we have about 40% close rate, so we need about what's that, 15 to 20 meetings a month, leads, like meaningful meetings with agents. It's just getting that number up, so we're trying to do everything we can, like partnerships wise. We've got a press release going out next week, which is all centered around like Peter Rollings has invested in Nesty, because it's good credibility, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. How's Agency Express going for you? Has that worked or not?
So obviously the initial launch was quite light. So it's just a couple of LinkedIn posts. They have 4 press releases going out over the next few months. Okay. So I got the dates here. So first one's going out this Friday. So this will be on estate agent today, letting agent today, negotiate, like all those things. We got one going out Friday the 30th, so next week, 19th of Feb, 10th of March, and one in April. So there's like a sequence of press releases going out now. So I think that'll take off. It hasn't been great so far, I think, solely because it's been quite like, just a couple of LinkedIn posts. But and then obviously we do our outbound stuff, which is always hard because obviously engagement on outbound's low for everyone.
I don't understand why you don't get AI to do that for you.
We do.
Oh, you got
it all is now. It all is now. Literally all of it is. Particularly the emails. Like the email stuff's easy because we just have a flow where like once a week we have an AI agent that will essentially find a list of estate agents, owners that we want to target, and then it will add it to an email sequence, and then it just keeps cycling. I mean, it's going well. I mean, we just got to, again, I think we just got to get more meetings. We've got to figure out unique ways to just get more meetings. But
I definitely think the integration will help. So that's really good news. If they can actually get that sorted out next week, that will be a right step in the right direction.
Yeah, because there's partnerships. I mean, one thing I want to get your thoughts on as well that we've been thinking about. So it's quite interesting. So obviously with us, we've built all the technology, we own it. So all of our technology is built from scratch. And obviously we have the technology and we have a platform that agents use, right? Whereas we've been thinking about this recently, obviously, eventually the CRMs, so like Rec, Street, etc., are going to try and add in some kind of voice capability, right? We're thinking, considering we own the technology, we could also potentially in some way try and license it to them, so that even if they do it, they're going to be powered by us, they're going to be paying us, and it's kind of a win-win.
What's the attitude? Because I mean, I've interviewed loads of the CEOs from the different CRMs, and a lot of their attitude is where they don't have the technical understanding to do it, which most of them don't have, is they intend to outsource it. So you take someone like Alto, and Rick has completely changed tact for Alto and Dupix and all of those ones, Express Agent. I mean, it's a big lot of people they've got there. And he's saying, so we're just going to do open IPs. Just going to let people, you can have bolt on whatever the hell you like. We're going to open it all up for everybody, and we're going to get the products in that way. And don't get me wrong, they're doing their own research on AIs and stuff, to do some AI stuff, but they're not as advanced as, their stuff about AI is having something work within the CRM to tell people who's most likely to buy next, or who's getting close to selling, their propensity to move, that sort of thing, or which people you haven't spoken to in the last 6 weeks who really need a call, and it's that sort of stuff they're gearing up around.
So Alto are quite open, because I remember you saying that a couple of weeks ago. They're like,
no, they used to be absolutely closed. You couldn't get anything through them. You couldn't get anything on. We were with Dupix, it's the same company as Alto. It's all part of the same group. And we got one of our guys, which was somebody to get so that we had a viewing sort of thing whereby people could book viewings.
Yeah.
But we couldn't get them to book them into the GPTs diary. But they use what they call wormhole technology.
Yeah.
And they found a back door into it.
Right.
But we weren't meant to. At some point, we were going to get caught doing that. But
yeah.
Rick actually told me the other day that, yeah, we're changing that policy. We can't keep up with technology. If people are better at doing certain shit than we are, then we'll just let them in.
What was the guy's name? Rick.
Rick Dawson.
I might message him.
Yeah, do you want me to do an intro?
Yeah, that would be amazing, because Alto would be a massive one for us because they have such a big market share.
Yeah,
I'm not being funny, but the Glue Dog ones are okay, but they've got all the small fry.
Okay.
So it's quite interesting. Glue Dog's great for like the small CRMs, so like Rex, Street. But then Repit and Alto, you kind of have to pave your own path and figure out how to get in there yourself.
Yeah.
So that's obviously kind of where we're at. But yeah,
well,
I mean,
let me do an intro for you, because I met first a guy called Mark Hook, who was their marketing manager.
Yeah.
And then I met Rick Dawson. I did the podcast with Rick. So he was, a really cool guy, actually.
Yeah, because I saw you met with the guy from Rex as well. Saw that.
Yeah, Mark Hinkins.
I saw him last week.
Yeah, of course, you were at that thing with Simon Gates and co, weren't you?
Yeah, he was there. We was he's chatting a bit, but yeah, he's a nice guy.
He is, yeah. Although I've got a couple of clients who have got Rex and they hate it.
Really? We've
they hate it.
We've known a lot of people switch from Street to Rex.
Okay. Well, these guys had an expert agent in the background, and they've kept it because they can't get Rex to work. But I just think with most estate agents, their problem is they're not very good at using their CRMs.
Yeah, it's so subjective, isn't it?
Yeah, but there you go. There's something that AI could help people with, is using your bloody CRM properly. They could probably just put into AI, this is my CRM, this is what I want to do. Can you tell me how to do it, please? And it will do it, wouldn't it?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Because most people I bump into just have real issues with the CRM, and the issue isn't the CRM.
Yeah.
The CRM is perfectly capable of doing most things that they want it to. They just don't know how.
Mostly basic stuff as well, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely. But yeah, so I'll reach out to them on LinkedIn anyway. But I'll put together an email this afternoon for you, Morgan.
Yeah, that'll be brilliant, because I think Alto would be such a big one for us.
Yeah. And I'll do an intro, and you can see whether you can pick it up with those guys. But yeah, I thought it was a pretty cool dude and knew his stuff. He had a product that he sold to Zoopla.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
He set
that's why
business and sold it to Zoopla, and then became sort of head of Zoopla, and then now has gone back into specialising in the CRMs.
That's also why I think we need to start building like big relationships, deep relationships with these guys, because they might be the guys to buy us one day.
Yeah. Well, I guess
that
comes back to that meal thing, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. 100%.
If you could get him in a room with the guys from Foxtons and the guys from a couple of other big players, take everybody out for a bite to eat.
It's a good idea.
Get a drink or two down him.
Yeah, we will sort that out, because we're meeting with Foxtons in a couple of weeks. Like with Peter at the moment, he's just helping us prepare for the Foxtons meeting. It's on the 19th of Feb.
Yeah.
Because that could be a big one. Because I'm really keen. Like they are actively looking, like to the point where they want to make a decision in the next.
Why don't they just buy you though? Well, I'm not sure that you worry about that, but surely, because their CRM is their own creation, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, we wouldn't need an integration with Foxtons.
Yeah,
because it's like for the product to work, because Foxtons have never integrated with any third party, because they are so protective over their boss system. But for our product to work, like it's not like you need an integration. It makes it a better process. It makes it smoother. It makes it a better experience. But you don't need one. It's not a make or break. So, for example, with Foxtons, they're not interested at all. They wouldn't. They've never done it. Never done an integration. never will.
Yeah. No, but I guess that at some point they need to buy an AI company to keep their CRM up to date, because otherwise it's going to get left behind, isn't it?
Yeah, they will. Yeah, I mean, it might be something that comes up. Who knows?
Yeah. I mean, it seems like they're more likely to buy a product, buy the whole business, than they are to buy a product that everybody else uses. They strike me as that way inclined, but you'd know better. Peter would know better.
We'll see, won't we?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if Foxes have they ever bought a tech company before? I don't know.
Well, how did they create their current CRM?
They've started building it from scratch like 20 years ago.
Yeah. So ultimately, they set up a tech company.
Yeah, true. All right, brilliant. Well, I'll let you know how that goes.
Yeah, let me know how that one goes, and I'll do this intro for you, and we'll take it from there.
That'll be perfect.
Right. Cheers,
All right,
man.
cool.
Take care.
Bye bye.